Show. Well, you know, our next guest is the host of the iconic Fashion Television. She's also launched 2 magazines, a podcast, several clothing collections, written 5 books, and was designated a member of the Order of Canada.
And her new memoir, Heart on My Sleeve, walks us through her wardrobe of memories, one article of clothing at a time. And she's here to tell us all about it. Please welcome to the show. A 12-year-old in me can't believe I'm saying this. Please welcome the one, the only, Jeanne Beker.
First of all, welcome back to this building.
Oh, yeah, my old home when we first moved into this building in 1987. I worked here from 1987 to 2014. That's a lot of years.
Wow.
So great to be back.
It's amazing to have you here. Just to hear your voice always gives me tingles, by the way. Brand new book out. It is a love letter to fashion. And the way that you chose to write this was you chose articles of clothing, sometimes accessories. That was then a jumping off point to tell a story about that garment, that celebrity sometimes in some cases. Why did you do this now 3rd memoir in this way?
Oh, well, why did I do it in this way? Because I think a lot of people associate me with that world of fashion, but also because I wanted to inspire people to get nostalgic and sentimental about the pieces in their wardrobe. And I think a lot of them probably already are. You know, a lot of us now are going thrift shopping and remembering all these old trends from the old days. And, oh, I used to wear a coat like that. I used to wear a dress like that. And all these wonderful memories come rushing back. What we choose to wear tells us so much about ourselves. Not only do these things communicate ideas about ourselves to others, but I think we really learn a lot about ourselves. The reason, you know, doing a book now, it is my 3rd memoir. I think every decade or so, you know, you have to look back again. But having gone through a breast cancer journey a couple of years ago, and that's when Simon & Schuster approached me to do the book, they said, you know, we think you are pretty wise by this point, and I think the cancer journey definitely made me, you know, wiser, braver, stronger, a better person, a bigger person. And they said, you know, you probably have a lot that you could teach people about at my ripe old age. So I decided to almost include a little life lesson with every story as well. And yeah, it just worked out quite well.
Yeah, it's a wonderful book. And supermodel Linda Evangelista wrote a beautiful foreword. Oh my gosh, it was so touching.
So nice.
And I know a lot of your other celebrity friends have chimed in about the book and supported you. What does it feel like to hear from those people talking about your work? Because we're so accustomed to you telling their story. So what does it feel like to have them responding to your story?
Oh, it's just incredible. I mean, you know, listen, my life has been nothing short of a fantasy. I mean, I dreamed and I believed, I guess, you know, when I was a little girl from a very young age, all I wanted, every year on my birthday cake, I wished for my own TV show. I thought it'd be like a puppet show or something, you know, like Howdy Doody or Captain Kangaroo. And then all of a sudden, you know, I find myself in this, first with a music show, the new music, you know, for all those years, and then going into fashion television and meeting these incredible, iconic figures at such a time in fashion, at a golden age in fashion. It's not like that anymore. There's a lot of creativity in fashion, a lot of cool people, but it's just not the same. And I just feel so privileged to have got up close and personal with so many of these incredible people.
Yeah, and I know with Linda, both of you actually sharing the same breast cancer.
That's right. She called me early in my treatment. I was going through chemotherapy, and she phoned me, and she goes, I'm going to tell you something, and nobody else knows this. But about 6 years ago, I had breast cancer, too. And it's like, oh, you're kidding. She goes, yeah, but I felt like I couldn't tell anyone. I mean, I had to tell everybody right away, because that's the way I live my life. But she really wanted to keep it secret, but she confided in me, and right away that bond became even stronger between us.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you bring a lot of bold-faced names into this book, and one of them was meeting your idol, Paul McCartney. So tell us, what was that like?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, what was that like? I grew up with a big picture of Paul McCartney over my bed when I was 12 years old. I went to Maple Leaf Gardens and sat up in the nosebleed section and screamed my lungs out for him. I thought, you know, I dreamed about, you know, marrying him one day. And then here I am, like all these years later, and he's released this movie, and it was in the early 80s, and I get called to New York to do an interview with him. And we bonded, again, the story's in the book, because I decided I didn't want to look like I was trying too hard. And I knew that he lived in Scotland, like on a farm or something, so I thought, I'm going to look like, you know, the groovy girl next door. I'm going to wear a Roots plaid flannel shirt with, you know, very edgy earrings and funky pants and everything. And so I walked into the room and there was Paul, like, looking so gorgeous. And he was wearing a plaid shirt and a plaid jacket. And it was like, okay, you're talking my fashion lingo.
Yeah.
So it was great. Yeah, we bonded over that. And of course, you know, met him many times since backstage at his daughter Stella McCartney's shows.
Yeah.
And he's just wonderful.
And I love all those behind-the-scenes stories about how you really thought about what you were going to wear when you were going to interview some of these people. But it, you know, your interview with Paul went really well. But you also curated an outfit for one Madonna. And the outcome was different. You can't tell that story.
Well, let's just say she wasn't in such a good mood because a movie that she did called Body of Evidence, which was a bit of a stinker, had just come out and she was pretty freaked out about that. So the next day I had to interview her. I only had like 4 minutes with her, one of those junket situations. I thought, oh, what am I gonna wear? I know, I'll wear my fabulous, almost like the pants I'm wearing now, these big bell bottoms. Fabulous Anna Sui velvet black pants. And they really made a statement, very dramatic. And I knew that Anna Sui was one of her favorite New York designers. So I walk into the interview wearing these fabulous pants and I look at Madonna and she's wearing the exact same pants. Yeah. And I go, like I thought, you know, sister, we're bonded here. This is great. We got the same taste in clothes. You know, we're wearing the same pants. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, are we? You know, she was not amused. No. And I went, yeah. So we just kept going from there. You know, anyway, Madonna's great. You know, I love her, but, you know, that wasn't a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
Being very diplomatic about it.
You also got to sit down with the one and only Beyonce.
Yeah.
She was a baby. She was 25. And she was opening up to you about wanting to put herself first and her desire also to have a family, which is very prescient at that
I was
age,
blown away by how grounded she was, how caring and compassionate and smart and directed she was. I knew that she was destined for mega greatness. I mean, her star had already begun to rise. We were shooting her for the cover of a magazine I used to edit called FQ, a big oversized glossy. And she was just so cool. And, you know, at the end of the interview, she goes, oh, we have to take a picture together, you know, and her favorite photographer was there on the shoot, Matthew Ralston, and he took a portrait of us together, which is hanging in my den to this day. And no, it's just so thrilled to see how far she's come. Wow, what a star.
I want to circle back because you already mentioned your breast cancer diagnosis, but you were diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago and you decided you were going to share that with all of your followers. Tell us why you made that decision.
Oh, Andrea, how could I not make that decision? I've been so open about my life. It's always been an open book. I've written columns about it. I'm a very candid kind of person. And I thought, wow, this is something I have to tell my, you know, at least my Instagram followers. I announced it. And the very next day, my following doubled and all these people started writing to me, telling me their stories. And that was the wind beneath my wings, the incredible caring and compassion, the cheers that people gave me. I really believe it kind of restored my faith in humanity, like people really caring about me in that way. Boy, that was a great move. I've never regretted it for 1 moment.
Wonderful. You share a lot about it in the book as well. Jeannie, this is just a little taste of what is in this book, so congratulations and thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.